Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Startup Showcase. My name's Adiran, and I'm the CTO at the AI Advisory Group at Microsoft for Startups. Today I have the pleasure of hosting Or from BlinkOps. BlinkOps are part of our Pegasus program, which is the advanced program for startups in Microsoft, and they have been one of the first startups to truly embrace the Copilot experience, even add the name Copilot, in their product. So I'm really excited to have a conversation with him and learn some of their experience on how to build a Copilot for their own product. What are some of the learnings, challenges, do's and don'ts for other startups that are trying to follow? Hi, Or. How are you?
Great. Nice to be here.
Good. So really excited to have you here. There's a lot of questions that I already want to ask you. But first, maybe give us a bit of intro about yourself and the company.
My name is O. Wilder. I'm the Director of Security in BlinkOps. I've spent the past 15 years in different cybersecurity enterprises, as well as in the intelligence corp. Been doing a lot of technical roles as well as senior level roles, and I've joined Blink around 4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty fresh in Blink. And let me tell you a bit about Blink. Blink is a security automation copilot built to automate any security-related task, process, or workflow.
That's amazing. By the way, kudos for being the first to actually do something like this. I've seen the company before Copilot and after Copilot. It really feels like this changed the company. So it's interesting for me, before going into the product, maybe talking a little bit about the use case itself. Mm-hmm. So what have you found that you thought Copilot could really fix or be the pivot your entire company around that experience? And maybe you can also share this in a demo.
We've been working with OpenAI since Q4 2022. And once Microsoft released the integration within Azure, we've jumped on this horse and basically were very happy to join this stream. And we've been working with the product and integrating Copilot capabilities in the past year now. We have a production-ready Copilot solution that is already serving a lot of customers. And let me walk you through a demo.
Sure.
So I have a ready-made prompt here.
So you're starting from this prompt. This is your actual UX.
Yeah. We're starting from a prompt. We're really honoring Copilot, and we're providing an assistive tool to really bridge the gap where in the past you would need automation engineers in order to build automation workflows, and now any kind of practitioner, security practitioner, or IT consultant can use our tool to basically streamline his work. I'm starting from a simple prompt that is related to the SOC teams. So for example, and a SOC, for whoever that does not know, is the Security Operations Center team. We've compiled here it's kind of simple prompt, but it does a lot behind the scenes. What we are doing here is, upon a new alert in Microsoft Sentinel, we check if the alert is critical, and then we ask the Copilot to isolate the device using CrowdStrike, then isolate the user account using Okta. It will then create a ticket in ServiceNow and send a message to whatever channel of alerts the team is using. So let's do the compilation, and I'll generate the workflow. So it takes really a few seconds to do that. In the meantime, behind the scenes, really our model is interacting with OpenAI in Azure and building the grid that you can see right now. What you can see right now is our grid. I'll create the workflow and we'll jump into the Builder app. This Builder app allows individuals to edit whatever they want, but what we're seeing here is the result of the Copilot. We're seeing an automation workflow from A to Z that you can already ship to production.
Yeah. So this is amazing. So what you're actually sharing is starting off with a Copilot and then moving to your builder, which is kind of a traditional UX. So nobody has to start from scratch or kind of drag and drop like a blank canvas. You're already starting from something and you didn't know anything but plain English. You just wrote what you wanted and that was translated into your product.
Yes, that's exactly that. As a matter of fact, 99% of the work of the automation engineering work was being done behind the scene. And the result is what you can see on the screen right now. Blink is a no-code, low-code, and code automation platform. It means we're supporting all variety of options. And what we can see right now is that we have a workflow here that is triggered upon a new alert. It gets the incident details, and if the incident is critical, it then using CrowdStrike native APIs to isolate the machine. It will then use Okta's native APIs to isolate the user account because there might be something suspicious here and we want to do that. It will then create a ticket in ServiceNow, and then it will send a Slack message to it, the channel alerts like we chose.
First of all, this is really amazing. I'm not a SOC engineer and I could have done this. So you just made me, an engineer that can create a very complicated workflow. I want to maybe, because you're truly an early adopter of this technology, and you're not even coming from the AI world. I mean, you're coming from the automation security world. So that's mind-blowing to me. If you're looking at other industries or other sort of customers, where would you advise startups to get that Copilot mindset first in their products as well?
I might be biased, but I think that there is an horizontal industry here that is relevant to a lot of verticals. And the biggest impact is first and foremost going to be automation. The ability to allow any employee or citizen to automate their work will have a great impact on their productivity, and that thus providing greater efficiency to the businesses that you will utilize this technology.
And you've seen some numbers yourself, right? You've been shipping this for a few months now. So what have you seen from your customer base?
So we've reduced the number of the headcount, basically, that is required to automate very complex workflows from 7 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're seeing now teams that are single number figures that are able to orchestrate automations relevant to huge organizations with very high numbers of employees. We're working with top enterprises that are and they're already shipping a lot of automations. What we're seeing month over month is an increase of their automation usage. We're seeing more and more automations being shipped, as well as more automation flows being ran. Yeah. So this is like something that we're already seeing using Blink.
Amazing. So obviously, I mean, this is crazy that you weren't a Gen AI or an AI company, and you not only put AI front and center of your application, you're already seeing such huge adoption for this. But a key question is, what are some of the don'ts? I mean, a lot of the early adopters are saying, this is cool, Gen AI, let's put a Copilot. But isn't it a bit risky to put a Copilot in front of your users in terms of, I don't know, pricing or persistence, consistency of the experience?
There are a few challenges that we've stumbled upon. One of them being consistency or hallucinations. Behind the scenes, we've built a very complex pipeline to be able to support and bring Copilot to the front of our application. What we did is we know that the result can be inconsistent with foundational models. And what we are providing our customers is the ability to continue chatting with the Copilot within our builder, and that enables them to do like in-builder modifications. They do not need to change, the big picture of the automation. They can zoom into whatever they want to fix, and again use Copilot, do the modification, and push it back into the workflow. And what that provides is some kind of fault tolerance to the fact that we still see that the foundational models are not very consistent in their results.
Oh, that's amazing. Can we see an example of this? Really interesting to me.
Sure, let me see. So in the automation we've seen before, we saw that the Copilot chose Slack. And let's say our organization is using Microsoft Teams, for example. So you can
Good
see.
choice.
Yeah, so you can see here that I've clicked on this button and you have this bubble with Copilot. And now I'll ask it to, using Microsoft Teams, send a message to channel. Now what we're seeing is that the Copilot replaced Slack with Microsoft Teams. If I'll click on that, you can actually see that the channel ID is the alerts. It then compiles, there is a new incident that's created. It formats automatically the incident information into the message that is going to be sent within Microsoft Teams. And this is like an assistive, I'll call it, behavior to the user that is again utilizing the Copilot empowering here.
So you're basically using Copilot to fix Copilot when it messes up, and you also have your traditional UX there, and you're all bundling it all together to make sure that you have a persistent experience.
Exactly.
That's really crazy.
And I have to say that Copilot right now is very persistent from what we're seeing in testing. We're about 99% close to be very consistent and persistent. And what we're providing the end user is they get a very complete workflow ready that they only need to modify if they require.
This was really amazing. So you are at the top of that experience. I mean, you really changed the entire product to align to this. What do you think is next? I mean, how does a startup stay ahead of the curve once you really embrace that AI first architecture? What is next for you? How do you keep up with that pace of technology?
Great. So behind the scenes, we have a whole department that is dedicated to making Copilot better. So we're improving and pouring in our collective knowledge internally. We have a whole team that is dedicated to fine-tune automations, fine-tune the usage within the automations, and really tailor-made a lot of the complexities. So Copilot will be able to be assistive to much more complex use cases. So that's one thing. The other thing here is that our product is supporting enterprises and it has to be enterprise ready. So we are expanding our product to be supporting more and more enterprise features. We're currently using Copilot in other places of our product as well, again, to reduce the friction of the manual work. We have other capabilities within the product that are already starting to utilize Copilot as well.
So you really built Copilot as an engine to automate like a lot of different pieces in the enterprise. And that's a really interesting take on how AI could really pivot a company and what it does. So I'm really interested to see what you do next, and obviously looking at your team growing and starting to have fine-tuning and engineers like that. That's amazing, because just a year ago the company was very different in the profile. So I think embracing that change is really fundamental for startups to go. Where can you test it? I mean, if there's a startup now that wants to kind of test it like you've seen in the demo here, explore a little bit, is there a way for people to get in touch with you and experience this?
Sure, you can go to blinkops.com and go to the contact page and contact us. There's also demo on YouTube and also on our website.
Okay, that's amazing. So first of all, thank you, Or, for spending that time talking candidly about some of your advancements and some of the challenges that you've done. I think you've been truly like a beacon of light in terms of embracing the Copilot experience outside, not just using OpenAI internally in Azure, but actually putting it front and center within your users and seeing some of the stats and the numbers, I think you're on the right track. There's a lot to learn from what you do. And for everybody out there, if you haven't joined our Founders Hub program, if you want to start building those experiences, those custom Copilot experiences, there's a lot on Azure AI that can help you, from the foundational models, both OpenAI and open source, all the way through AI Studio, orchestration, prompt engineering, responsible AI, a lot of the things that Or just discussed, you can use it. So join Founders Hub and start building your Copilot experience. This is a call to action, not just if you're an AI startup, but similar to or Blink were. If you're an industry startup, you're a security startup, AI is actually changing and pivoting a lot of industries today. So even if you haven't been done anything with AI up until now, this is a good opportunity to start joining that revolution. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Or, and hope to see you in the next episode of the Startup Showcase.